Benvenuta. Welcome to my channel. Don Dolindo's father, Raffaele Ruotolo, was highly intelligent and obtained degrees in both mathematics and engineering. He was the only one of his brothers to do so, as they had all learned a trade, which was the custom at the time. Don Dolindo's mother, Silvia Valle, was of noble ancestry. Don Dolindo describes her as having a childlike innocence, combined with a delicate purity. As to his father's personality, Don Dolindo writes, Papa possessed a choleric temperament. Since he was the only one in his family who had acquired a high level of education, he was treated as being superior to the others. Don Dolindo goes on to describe his father as having a quick temper and being frugal to the point of miserliness. Don Dolindo tells us, My father demanded excessive frugality that contrasted starkly with my mother's character and upbringing. These issues continued throughout the marriage. The result of Raffaele's extreme frugality was that Dolindo and his siblings were constantly lacking adequate clothing, shoes, and food to eat. 11 children were born, 4 sons and 7 daughters, 3 of whom died in infancy. Dolindo was the 5th child and 2nd son. His older brother Elio was close to him in age, and young Dolindo was very attached to him. Both Elio and Dolindo became priests, as well as their younger brother, Ausilio. There was one other brother, the youngest of all the children, who became a lawyer. In Italian, the word for pain is dolore. Don Dolindo tells us, My name, Dolindo, means pain. My father thought it up himself, and when I was 14, confided in me this strange prediction. I feel that you will not be any ordinary priest, but an apostle, and it is for this reason that I have been very hard on you during your childhood. He had indeed made me experience suffering and pain. In fact, Don Dolindo's father would inflict harsh and severe corporal punishment on his children, with young Dolindo bearing the brunt of this fierce discipline. Don Dolindo tells us, Elio and I were so terrified of him that we would run and hide whenever we heard him coming home. Decades later, looking back on his father with Christ-like charity and forgiveness, Don Dolindo writes, Our poor father meant well. He believed he was doing the right thing and raising his children properly. Though I am obliged to write certain things about him that cause me pain, nonetheless, I bless his memory. I see that he, without intending to, was punishing me for my sins. It is now 21 years since he passed away. May he now be in God's glory. Dolindo continues, Papa would not allow me to go to elementary school, nor would he instruct me himself. He and Mama would argue often about this. Mama didn't want me to grow up ignorant. There was continuing conflict in the Ruotolo household over this, and the extreme miserliness. Then, something else happened that Don Dolindo does not disclose to us, but which proved to be the last straw. In 1986, when Don Dolindo was 13 years old, Silvia made the decision to leave her husband, and, taking all the children with her, went to her brother's home to temporarily stay until she could find her own place. Soon after, she obtained a legal separation. Despite Raffaele's best efforts, Silvia refused to go back on her decision. Raffaele was left all alone and, for companionship, invited his brother Pietro to come live with him. Don Dolindo tells us, Mama's prime concern was to figure out what to do with us two older boys. In fact, the Lord had foreseen and permitted everything for the greater good. The good Lord in this way had removed me from a situation where I was not able to receive proper formation. Mama sought advice from her confessor, who recommended that she enroll us in the Apostolic School of Missionary Priests. Thus, 2 months later, at age 13, Dolindo entered this Catholic boarding school, a minor seminary, along with his older brother Elio. It was shortly after he entered that Dolindo, while praying the rosary with his classmates, received the miraculous gift of infused knowledge. Elio and Dolindo remained at the minor seminary and, eventually, went on to the novitiate and then were ordained priests. Raffaele and Silvia remained apart for several years, but were reconciled in 1900 after Raffaele suffered a stroke which left his right side paralyzed. Silvia took him back and cared for him as his health continued to deteriorate. 2 years later, in 1902, Raffaele passed away. Don Dolindo tells us, I did not cry at the time, but prayed and comforted the others who were weeping. Later, I too wept, and I am weeping now as I write. Arrivederci, till next time. Gesù, pensaci tu. Jesus, you take over. Take care of everything. Jesus, I trust in you.